Hey guys, hopefully you can hear me good. Hopefully it's loud enough. And let me know if the stream gets weird and buggy at all. It's giving me a warning message, but hopefully I'm going to be good this time. All right, let's start. So today was a pretty good day. I think I probably made about $250,000. I'm feeling sick though, which kind of sucks. So I'm going to try and see how much stamina I have in this stream. But it was a good day. Some of the big winners, PayPal obviously did really good. CleanSpark, Bitfarms, all the miners were just crushing it today. SoFi did really well today. And then Hood, I don't know why Hood shows 0. It shouldn't. Weird. Weird. Oh, it's doing that for some of my positions. Okay, I don't know what that's about. The numbers look right up top. Anyway, whatever. I think Hood did good too, but I don't know why this looks so strange. Moving on. All right, so today was a cool day in regard to market breadth. We had a lot of it. If we jump over here to the Russell too, you could see where the regular indices, the S&P and the Nasdaq, were pretty much flat to down. Dow Jones and transportation did a little bit better, but the Russell crushed it, got above the first fib. Looks like it wants to take off. Oh, good. Glad to hear the volume's better. Looks like it wants to take off, and which is exciting. We're also seeing overbought conditions still on the S&P and Nasdaq. I'll talk about that in a bit, but I love market breadth. I gotta say, I love it. The real red today. It looks like Tesla got hit again. I love Tesla, but I'm glad I'm in calls and not a couple 100,000 in stock right now. Um, but anyway, so this is a good day today. Very excited about how it went. Going to jump into some economic stuff. Yeah, Hood up 4%. We got earnings tomorrow. Also, I've got a couple of live streams tomorrow. So I'm going to be doing one with Amit for earnings for Hood. And then right after that, I'm going to be doing another one with Felix. He's a dude who's got about 80,000 subscribers. He lives in Hong Kong, British accent, reminds me of Doctor Who. Super cool guy. So I'm excited about that one too. It'll be my first time meeting him. So feel free to check those out. And without further ado, let's jump over to some economic stuff because there's a few things I wanted to look at here that I'm kind of excited about. And let me maybe shrink this up. There we go. That's a little better. Get that a little bigger. All right. So consumer inflation expectations. Yeah, it was like it's not a bad number. If you look here though, you can definitely see how consumer inflation expectations have just crashed, so much lower than they were. Um, Outside of that, one thing I wanted to go into monthly budget. Let's look here. So if we zoom out here, I wanted to show this chart because the median line here, we're supposed to be closer to 0, but you can tell we've ran budget deficits for a long time as a country. But the severity of what we've run as far as the depth of just our deficits has been ugly, right? But a little bit of optimism here. We're getting higher lows all the time. And now we're starting to close in on getting closer to like a balance. Well, it probably won't be balanced. Let's get real. It'll still be a bunch of money printing, but it's a good thing that this isn't getting crazy. China doesn't have this luck right now. They've got it rough. So I'm liking what we're seeing here. Outside of that, it's a really light day on economic data. The big stuff comes tomorrow. And I posted about this real briefly, but we've got core inflation and the year-over-year stuff is what I care about. I don't care about month over month. It's just a shitty chart and it doesn't really give you the visual that you want. But we got Red Book, the big stuff though, CPI, inflation numbers, and I think that all of these can come in lower than what they're expecting for the forecast. Consensus maybe 2.9, like maybe that could be the high. I think 2.7 or 2.8. Honestly, it'll be interesting to see what happens. But tomorrow is where we should get some fireworks. If we get lower than expected core inflation, I think it's off to the races, and I think companies like Tesla and Enphase will get to benefit from some of that. And I did a post about Tesla today. Kind of looks like a left shoulder, inverse head, right shoulder formation. Maybe it plays out for another month or two. But once rates start to come down, if unemployment is not higher, or if the narrative about rates coming down starts to kick in and unemployment's not higher, then maybe we take a break here at this downward price pressure. Tesla's been holding up pretty good. I've been impressed. So maybe it just grinds here for a little bit for another month or two, and then it's set to take off. I'm really excited about this. I'm dialing into an options trade. So I'm excited to see where this takes us. Not much to report on commodities except for like electricity in Europe is just falling through the floor by the day. I mean, it's nuts. Like let's look at Spain. Let's look at Spain and see where they are compared to their highs. Yeah, wow. 280 euros per megawatt hour down to 9. I don't even know what to say about that. So like there's no energy crisis in Europe right now. That is not a thing this winter. Energy is really, really cheap. All right, so we don't have much going on in the macro scene. Let's just jump over here. The big dog today, obviously, Bitcoin. It's all about Bitcoin. I was going to say too, oil and the dollar's pretty much flat. Oil's hitting resistance too. No real changes. Not going to talk about them. But as you can see here with Bitcoin, it is actually above the previous resistance line. Depends on where you move it. So I'll probably actually change this real quick. I'm going to change it to the previous wick just to get an idea where it can still go. I'll probably do another one of these later. But yeah, Bitcoin is looking crazy strong. And I posted about this. Can't remember if I did it in a YouTube video. Well, whatever. If I did do it in YouTube, I did it on X. And right here, about 52.53 is the sweet spot for us to kind of hang out. And then maybe test down or try and test 56.5. So that's what we're looking for. We're in this range now where I think we're between the 47 range and the 56 range. And maybe we test down first just to establish our new base. That would probably be the healthiest. So I'd look for that just to test like down here a little bit. It's a back test. It's pretty standard stuff. Doesn't have to though. The inflows that I've been seeing on Bitcoin have been crazy. It's ramping up big time. So with that, I don't even know if we have to pause. And that's why I've been slow. I've sold about almost 2% of my CleanSpark position. Not a big number, but a decent amount, enough for me to buy a bunch of Tesla and a couple of Rivian calls that are out, 2 years and then 2.5 years for Tesla. So I'm looking forward to those. It allows me to take a small amount of capital and get a mega return. Right now, anywhere from what I believe will be 4 to 10x for what I believe the price targets to be later. So that's going to be fun. And I did a post about that today. Look it up if you have questions. Let me see. I don't want to look at that. And again, the SPY looks good. We can skip that. Russell, we looked at a second ago. It's above the fib, that first fib level. I love that. If we look at this in the weekly time frame too, it's starting. Again, we've got like bearish or bullish convergence and divergence. It just looks like it wants to go higher. So I'm excited. This is going to be a good one. Let me see here. So let's see what I want to post about next. I might jump into charts. What do you guys have? Do you guys have any questions or any news related events? Like I said, I'm feeling a little ill today. Oh, Google trend data looked amazing. Yeah, let's go through some of these events that I posted about today. It's probably not a bad idea to make sure nothing gets missed. Oh, this is a cool one. So I posted, or I might have even talked about this in the last market wrap up, but we were roughly 10x the daily issuance for Bitcoin per day is getting consumed in inflows with these new Bitcoin ETFs. That's not even other forms. That's not like corporations buying it, individuals buying it, other ETFs in Canada, Europe buying it. That's none of that stuff. This is just here in the States. 12.5 days of supply in one day. If that pace keeps up by the halving in April, just 2 months from now, just a hair over 2 months from now, it will be 25 a day, which means in 30 days, you're looking at like 700 days worth of consumption. I don't know what to say. It's so crazy. If you guys aren't excited yet, you need to get better at math because this is nuts. There's just not enough Bitcoin. There's not enough Bitcoin, and people are going to see that really, really soon. Oh yeah, Google Trends data. Yeah, let's zoom in here so you can actually see this. There you go. That's better. Google Trends data. Look at this. Nobody cares about Bitcoin, guys. Nobody even cares. So that's just a thing of beauty. This is what you want. Look at this. We're nothing like the previous peaks here. Nothing like it. So, and then the stuff in 2017 over here. Oh my goodness. Or wait, no, maybe it's 2020. But yeah, this last peak, we're nothing like it. We're in the doldrums here. So people don't get excited. If, in case you don't know this, this is my third cycle. People don't get excited until you break to a new all-time high. They just don't care. And then all these technicians start to jump in the second they find out that a new all-time high has been established, because they know they can just ride the wave. So there's a bunch of people that just don't care. They will. I love this one today. Let's not overcomplicate this. USD equals your money, and then it's got divided by infinity, and then it's got Bitcoin divisible by 21 million. And I love that. That is just so true. People need to understand that. Let me see here. Tesla, Robinhood tomorrow. Like I said, I'm going to have an earnings call with Amit. Make sure you watch that. We'll be dual streaming from my channel and his. This is just one of the cool new features that Robinhood got, in case you hadn't seen it. They're showing flows. So this is really cool because you can see inflows versus outflows and kind of who's winning. Very cool stuff. Robinhood gets better by the day. So many things I love about that company. Let me see if there's anything else that's worth interest. Also, too, what do you guys want to look at? CleanSpark? You want to look at some miners real quick here, too? Probably smart to do that. Let me get in here real quick. And then if there's anything else you want me to pull up, let me know. Or if there's any news events that I missed that we should be talking about, let me know that in chat, too. I'm trying to get better. Oh, yeah, we'll look at Bitfarms, too. I usually focus on the ones that I do for miners, and so that's usually CleanSpark, Bitfarms, and Riot. All right, taking a look here at CleanSpark. Another insane day. What did we make? 35% on Friday, like 15, 20% the day before that, and another 15 today. Does not suck to be an owner of CleanSpark. We could get resistance here. This is the golden retracement zone up here at 18. So we could get a little bit of resistance there. You have to realize we've jumped over 150% in the course of a month. Is that what I'm looking at? 3 weeks. 3 weeks, we've jumped 150%. So if this thing takes a breather, don't freak out. It's perfectly normal. Isn't CleanSpark overbought? I mean, yeah. But in Bitcoin terms, all I can say to you is nibble if you're selling off your position. Just nibble on it. Get a little bit to where you can feel good if it dips because you buy. I posted about this recently. The biggest mistake I made in the first cycle was selling too soon. You're not used to Bitcoin level returns if you're new to this, and you'll sell too soon and exit too soon, and then you'll want to FOMO back in. It's like the worst way to play this. It's better. You need to play this as a 1.5 year target, and then nibble a little bit. When you want some cash, when you want some dip buying money, nibble a little bit. Don't sell big chunks of it. Don't sell 100%. This is my take. Don't sell 100% to try and time it perfectly to get back in again. Because look at what this did. If you were somebody who didn't think this was going up, if it was January 22nd, 16th, right around there, and you thought it was still potentially going to go down, maybe down to here, and you didn't get in and you were 100% out, you just missed 150% upside. Timing this market is insane. You can use those overbought conditions. Yes, we are overbought. We've got bearish divergence here. You could nibble, maybe take 5% or something, just nibble and have that cash to be able to buy the dip. It'll make you feel good psychologically. It's a great way to manage your money because it'll make you feel good that you could buy the dip. And then at the same time, you don't feel like an idiot if you cashed out 50% and then all of a sudden it starts screaming higher and you're stressing out trying to figure out when you should re-enter. And then maybe it just keeps going because Bitcoin can be a bear. And by bear, I mean the exact opposite. It will just run people over to the upside. And right now we have so many reasons why it can run people over. Between Bitcoin ETFs, the FASB accounting rules, the potential for new ETFs from South Korea and Hong Kong, and corporations being able to get, and then rates coming down, that should help prop up the market too. There's so many positives, guys, like so many positives. All right. So anyway, so that's CleanSpark. Let's pull up Bitfarms. I think that's fair, and then we'll take a look at Riot real quick too. Again, so Riot. I mean, these miners. I wish I rode these for a little while, but then I had calls actually when these things were all in the lows, and I just sold them too early. I sold them with wicked gains. wicked gains. Like some of this stuff was up like almost 1,000%, but I still sold them too early because they were January 2025. So I wish I would have kept them down in the way lows and sold a lot. Again, same problem, right? This is my third cycle and I'm still guilty of it. Just selling too quickly and not being patient. Even if I've done this a bunch of times and you really get really good at it, you can still suck. So take my advice. Don't always do what I do, but definitely take my advice. Because if I listened to it, I would be better off too. All right, so this looks good. I think Bitfarms is still ready to run. I wouldn't be surprised if we test a 356 and or again this .618 retracement. This is the golden ratio. If you guys don't know Fibonacci exists all around the universe in every possible way, and it's just a rule of science all the way down to the quantum realm. So there's a decent chance, if you look over here, that we will hit this level of resistance and we'll need to take a breather and maybe pause for a bit. But that's another 23.63 up. So we get a nice low CPI inflation read tomorrow, and maybe we make that trip real quick. And then I would expect CleanSpark to maybe start to lag just because it's done so well. All right, real quick, I'll throw up Riot for anybody that's in it. This one's gapped up too. Again, people always, they're like, hey, why isn't my miner going up today? My miner isn't going up. But then all of a sudden they just gap. I never chase in anything in markets. Definitely never chase miners because you'll get wrecked. You'll follow the fastest horse and think that that's the new pony, and then all of a sudden it shifts to a different pony. So be smart, take your time, stick with it. Because look at the upside here. I mean, this one's underperformed, and it could underperform. I think CleanSpark is a better company, but CleanSpark has caught up real quick with market cap. Riot is 3.3 billion. CleanSpark is 3.17. So these two have become a lot more comparable as far as valuations. So it's definitely something that you need to think about when you're looking at these. Whereas like a Bitfarms, much smaller miner, but they're looking to expand. They're only at 926 million. So market cap matters with this stuff, and their expansion plans matter, and it matters if they've got Bitcoin holdings. Again, all three of these miners, they've got Bitcoin holdings. You know why? They're not stupid, and they realize that Bitcoin's going to appreciate, and that their balance sheet will appreciate along with it, and it will make them look better. So that's the kind of stuff I like to work with. I like to work with the ones that will look better over time. Also, again, if you didn't see this for Bitfarms, it's cool that it backtested the inverse head and shoulders almost perfectly and then started breaking up higher. That's a great sign for that one. And again, once Riot breaks out here of this, we should see it, try and at least go to the 22 range. Shorting USO oil. Yeah, I'm not positive on oil. I think that might not be a bad play unless we have war. War could change it, but the U.S. is the major producer for oil in the world now. We're producing tons of it, and even what's happening between multiple wars and the Red Sea, we still can't get oil up. And I think it's going to be really, you see how it got a dunk here. It tried to go back up. It's kind of tightening and coiling here. I think the direction is down unless there's a real good reason, unless all of a sudden demand in China picks up, which I don't see. But I think oil can drop further. What's up, Jesse? Thanks for the FOMO video. Hey, man, I'd rather get you guys FOMO'd now than FOMO'd at 150K. That's my rule, right? Like, it's hard to get people to FOMO at 15,000 about a year ago. It's hard nobody wants to come in there. You start talking about FOMO and people will just unsubscribe. So, but now that it's becoming more clear of a vision, this is the time where I want to get people in so that you can realize the gains that come with it. All right. Any thoughts on iron? I don't like iron. I don't like it because they don't hold Bitcoin. And I know there's other people, prominent people, like Mike Alfred on X that talk about it, and he's on the board, and that's great. But I don't understand why he can't talk them into holding Bitcoin heading into the halving. Why weren't they holding it at 15K? Why weren't they holding it at 30? Why weren't they building their reserves? Why do they have a philosophy where they don't hold Bitcoin at the lows and then sell it at the highs? That's like, how are you a mining company if you don't hedge? I mean, farmers that deal with corn hedge, like they have to. It's the only way that you could really ensure survival. So it's dumb to me that a Bitcoin miner wouldn't try and do that same thing. So I don't like IREN. Is the miner ETF WGMI good? I don't know. I do own some. I bought about 25K worth of it. It's basically a conglomerate mining fund. I haven't done a huge amount of research on it, but I like the fact that this fund is kind of a way to diversify into different miners. It's probably going to give lesser returns than some of the other ones that I have, but at the same time, at least I don't have risk. Like if HUT all of a sudden goes belly up, I mean, I wouldn't own that crap anyway, but if HUT goes belly up, or Mara, or any of these others that I had concerns about, this would be a way to just kind of be diversified, keep it simple, and then if a couple of them fail, it's going to lower the returns a little bit, but otherwise this thing can fly. And let's look at it. Let's look at WGMI. And again, if anybody has more information on it, let me know. I haven't done a huge deep dive on research here. Let me make a copy real quick because I'd like to save this one anyway. WGMI. Getting a little bit of energy back, even though I feel like crap. You guys energize me. All right, let's see here. All WGMI. So this is the Valkyrie Bitcoin ETF fund. And like, it didn't have a bad day, right? Like 10.75%. Some miners didn't even get that today. So again, I think from a miner perspective, if somebody wanted to keep it simple, this doesn't seem like a bad idea to me at all. Palantir chart, I probably still don't love it, but it did close over 25. I mean, that's a great sign. So that's a great sign. I like the fact that it's over 25. It's not like over this trend line that it started to establish, or like the downward resistance, I should say. It's not over that yet. But again, you can see where we've gotten some convergence here with the ups to the upside. So the picture is improving. I would say this: if we see risk on, like this thing's testing right up against that neckline. Like, look at that. That's right up against it. If we see risk on tomorrow, we're probably going higher. I don't think we'll go super high, but maybe 30. 30 doesn't sound crazy. If we go risk on, man, if the CPI data, inflation data says, hey, show me the money, let's figure out what we're buying next, I'm getting excited, then 30 is totally possible on Palantir. That's just how it works. That's why when people, and I'm sure, I have no doubt, people will be like, Jesse, you said you were bearish on Palantir. No, I didn't. I said I exited my position so that I could buy things that give a higher return, potential return. To me, going from 25 to 30 isn't enough of a return. I'm greedy. So I trade differently. I'm not saying I'm bearish on it. I'm saying there's strong ass resistance where we're at, and it gets even stronger when we get to $30. But just with this next fib. But I mean, again, if we could turn, I will say this: if we can turn with the Titan contract, with the potential for S&P inclusion, like the PE ratio and forward PE are still high on this thing. But man, if any of those things, if we're risk on, and we can make 30 the new base, like get above all this volume on Palantir, then, I mean, we'll probably test the all-time high again, right? Like, why not make a round trip? Why not go? We're already up 308%. Why not make it 638? Why not? It's possible. Anything's possible. All right. PayPal. Yeah, you know what? I like those guys. Let's talk about them. I like them more this week. I'll tell you that. No earnings calls today. That was great. No PayPal earnings calls. It's looking good. I mean, this is such a powerful wick. We need to get up here. Here's what needs to happen. I would love to see us close the gap up in the 62, 63 range, and then start to test either this downward resistance line in red, and more preferably the 200 moving average. That's always in orange on my charts. 200's orange, 100 moving average is yellow, and then the purple is the 50-day moving average. I would love to get above those moving averages and start to turn that into support again. I love that we're already above the 100 and that it didn't take us really more than a day of trading to get back up over that, or just a hair over a day, I should say. That's good. We want to tackle those moving averages. We want to turn them into a base. And, I mean, it's not going to get much worse, right? They basically said, we aren't doing shit the rest of this year. So that's about as good of a forecast as you can give. So if these guys, if anything, if we start seeing ads more, if we get any kind of positive data between now and Q2, or I should say with Q1 earnings, we're ready to fly. Honestly, I don't know what the negative narrative could be anymore, especially if rates start to come down. I don't know what the narrative could be because all the bank pressure comes down, and then the fintechs are going to fly, including SoFi. So let me see here. All right, looking for coin. Okay. All right, and members, even if you pay for the starter pack, the $2.99, members get priority. So we will look at coin next. And if there's anything I've missed as far as conversations, throw it out there, guys. Especially members. Let me know. Here, I'm going to start this. I'm trying to get all these charts where I'm going to save them. That way they're really quick and easy to pull up next time, okay? This looks great. I mean, coin looks like it's ready to rock, too. I have just a fib retracement because it hasn't really had the chart pattern that I would need to make a fib-based trend extension. So, but we can see here, again, we established that base above the next fib, and now we're set to go higher. I think it's a quick, easy trip to 182. If we get a good day tomorrow with CPI, 182, pretty easy. And then maybe even we start testing up if Bitcoin holds. Really, we got no volume shelved until about 218, 220. So very easy to get up to that next fib level for Coinbase. And look at this. Like, there's just no downside risk. Look at this. Look at this. There's no downside risk. There just isn't. All right. Thanks for the videos. You are always welcome, guys. Always. All right. Let me see. Any more verified people that I have not responded to? If not, I'm going to take unverified requests. All right. I'll jump into Zoom. I don't really pay much attention to Zoom. Kind of, to me, it just seems like one of those stocks that was a much better thing during the pandemic. I also think it's a Chinese company, which I don't love. But I will pull it up for you since you were nice and asked. Let me see here. Probably like some Chinese shit company that's incorporated in the Caymans, and if we went to war, you'd never get your money back. Wow, that sucks. That really sucks. Let's see how the revenue's doing, because that's another part of the picture, right? We need to understand, how is Zoom doing for revenue? Does it suck? Are they doing good? Are they making up? Are they making things better? Revenue year over year, negative 3%. Not great. Revenue flat. Net income getting better. Operating expenses are declining. Don't hate that. Love their cash position. That looks good. Yeah, I don't know. If you know something I know about this company long term, this might be a good bottom. What is it worth? So they're pulling in 150 million. And what are they valued at? What are they valued at? Where were they? Where did I go? Where are you at? Did I lose it? Did I lose it? You know what? Let me just load it again. Whatever. Here we go. Oh no, my chart's getting weird. This is crazy. All right, let me get that back over. I don't know what that was about. Let's see here. Oh, no, I got to do this other thing. One sec here. This is really weird. I don't know why it does this. There's this weird thing. I have this ridiculous monitor, okay? I've got a monitor that's like a 46-inch OLED as my primary. The thing that sucks, though, is that sometimes it can do this weird thing. Why is it doing this? Oh, it's pissing me off. All right, we're going big screen. We're going big screen. Guys, I can't get this to work right, and I'm mad. All right, so let's pull up Zoom here. I don't know why. I must not have saved it yet. Yeah, so the market cap on this is 19 billion. It's not crazy. I like the fact that they're beating estimates. I like the fact I would like to see them get above this volume at 68 and turn that into support. Right now it's a dead stock. And again, if this is Chinese, I don't know for sure if it is. But if it's Chinese, I don't know if that narrative is getting better anytime soon either. So keep that in mind. There we go. All right, now I can see my stuff. Jeez, dude. What the heck? Stupid computer. Should have got a Mac. BBY, SP. Oh, okay. The puts. Yeah, you know, I hope I lose all my money in these. I actually don't care about these at all. If they're going to be good, and I've got a separate video, look it up on YouTube, where I talk about these and I talk about what the potential returns are, show you the options calculator, all that stuff. I hope these lose value. If they go up, they're going to bleed. I want these to go to zero. Ideally, that's what happens. And I've got 2026 for Starbucks puts. And then I've got, this is Best Buy, I've got 2025s, but I'd want to rotate to probably to 2026. Starbucks actually went down today. I don't know. They've got so many stores in China. I think they're going to have like 7,000 this year or something. So if China does take a crap, even if we're doing good, I might still make money on this. And I don't know about Best Buy. It's a failing company. I probably need to roll into 2026 because that's probably a better put. All right, let me see here. Arc. All right, let me save this one. I gotta save this real quick. My Zoom one. All right, Arc G. That's gonna be a fun one, man. Yeah, you're right. We should look at that. Arc G. Yeah, dude. Arc G is going to be the G here soon. This one's got such a wicked asymmetric opportunity. If you guys haven't watched my Arc G video, you need to watch it. We are above. Look at that, man. Oh, I love that. We are just above peak volume on the profile. This is saying I'm ready to go. And then we just need to get back up here and test one more time at like the 35 range. We do that, and it's a quick round trip to 47, man. It is a real quick trip. And I think I make 10x by that point, maybe 12. It's a stupid number. It's going to be tons of money. I think Starbucks is headed down without China because they're too extended in the U.S. We have way too many. There's way too many stores, but they're really profitable. And people are stupid and loves like $5-6 coffee. They will sit in a line for half an hour just to get one. So they do have way too much overhead though. And I'll tell you this, if you guys haven't watched my Starbucks short video, the one where I talk about hedges, look that up. I talk about Starbucks and Best Buy. In 2008, Starbucks got crushed. And they got crushed because people, when they're losing their jobs, stop buying $5 coffee. When you don't have a job, what's the first thing you're getting rid of? It's probably not your car. It's probably not sleeping out on the streets. But that $5 coffee is going to go real quick. And then you look at China already having weakness, and 30% of Starbucks sales being overseas now, with the vast majority of that being China. It's like over 20% now. So, yeah, I think these are good hedges. And so as we make a bunch more money, I think we could melt up. We could take a breather for a little bit in these indices, but I think we could melt up. And if we do melt up, I'm gonna put a little bit in these hedges. And as always, put more in Bitcoin. Tesla, those 2.5-year leaps. Heck yeah. I'm just going to prep for the future. Hedge so that you got your ass covered. Definitely rolling into 2026 on those. That way I got 2 years for it to play out. And then at the same time, make a bunch of money. I've got asymmetric returns. I could make 2 to 5 million real quick in the next couple of months if things go well. Did ArcG own a bunch of NVTA? No, they owned 0.2% of NVTA, or 0.12. It was a stupid low number. I heard people passing that around. It's asinine. They should actually, you can look for all these funds, you can look them up. You can literally type in like ArcG and then fund prospectus, and you can go to the website, and right there they show you everything they're allocated to, and as of the last day. They're that great. That's the one thing. Kathy's not so great on timing. I don't always agree with her choices on investments, but her investment fund, as far as being up to date and transparent, amazing. And then at the same time, they do some of the best research factoring in the future, and they're highly accurate. And that's why they got Tesla right. That's why they're right about Bitcoin. They don't get everything right, but they get a lot right. Oh, and that's my drink. Okay. Sweet. 1 second here. I guess my wet pants don't matter. All right. 1 second. All right, there we go. We'll call it good. So yeah, so ArcG is great on that stuff, and ignore that NVTA whatever going bankrupt. They quantify this with like, they look and allocate their portfolio sizes based upon the risk levels, right? So they probably knew this one was risky, and they kept it really low. Can you help me to opt for membership? If you're talking about on here, if you're on iOS, it doesn't work well. There's like 2 A's in the corner or something. You got to click on that and request desktop, and then you can join. Otherwise, do it on a desktop. It's way easier just on a desktop computer. go to YouTube, and then you'll see the join right there. All right, let's get through here. Oh, yeah, you know what? Real quick, let's actually look at SHIB coins. Let's pull up some SHIB coins. I'm gonna bring up this real quick because I want to see. Plop, 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 plop. This is for the week. So if you guys are not into altcoins, let me just say this: these haven't even started yet. So miners are getting their due. This is the way it usually works. Bitcoin runs, it gets strong momentum, and then miners come too. Once miners feel confident, they explode at a high multiple. They're great. Bitcoin gets bored, finds a ceiling, treads sideways for a while. Everybody goes risk on into altcoins. So these haven't even started yet. These are depressed, right? This is a week, and this is the depressed version of it. Believe me, they can double, triple, even in the 100s. This is the top 100 list. They can go up really quick. And then if you go down a little bit into like the 200s, 300s, the numbers will get insane. You'll see like 500% increases, 1,000% increases. That's why a smattering of SHIB coins is never a bad idea. It's a great way to make money. All right, let's see here. Matic. Yeah, we can do that. I haven't looked at Matic in ages, man. Let me save this real quick so I don't have to do these charts again in the future. Let me see if I have a Matic chart. I might. Used to be big into this. You know what? Let me save that real quick. Hopefully this is a good old chart. Oh, no. It's not even listed anymore. All right. Let me see what else we got here. Binance is probably the better one because it's got more history. All right. Let's go back here. So how close are we? Jeez, let me go back. I haven't looked at this in age. Ooh, nice. Okay. All right. You can see these shelves, man. Not getting back to here again. That seemed like a risk for a while. If we were getting under here, that would have been scary. This looks pretty solid, though. Here's the thing I don't like. I don't like the $8.5 billion market cap. It can go higher. It could get stupid higher as the whole thing goes higher. But I don't totally love it. But let's get a fib drawn here, and we'll save this, too, so we have it for next time. But, yeah, the big thing for me, here's the big thing for me. Yeah, this is probably good low. I don't love the size of it. There's just always, each cycle, there's like newer shit coins that people get interested in. Close enough. All right, and so each cycle, the interest kind of shifts a little bit. This will probably do great, don't get me wrong, but I wouldn't expect like 30x. Could. I wouldn't expect it. Maybe 15 with Sol. I think it could come close to flipping ETH just based on narrative alone. But I haven't heard a really good narrative about Matic. And I will say, I think they reduced staff too, so they're doing some cost-cutting measures. Maybe that's not a big deal. I don't know. If anybody has anything in chat, say it. All right, Octa. Yeah, we can do Octa. Let me pull that up. I've still got some Octa, actually. Some calls. I think I'm up on them. I love this chart. Just quick glance without even pulling up like overextended or any of that stuff with the RSI and MACD. You see where we got to this fib level over here. And then we established a base right above the volume. Like we got up above here. Then we went up to the next fib, hit the 100, diced around it. But we're closing above this next volume shelf. So we got a ton of volume underneath of us. And we're getting ready to go above the .618 retracement. So when we test this level right here at 92, we break above that, man. It's an easy trip to 114 and not that much further to 141. I know it sounds crazy, but that's only like 50%. Let me see here. Nope, I got to move these. Got to move this stuff. It's been a while. Got to save these charts. You know, now that I'm keeping these up to date, it's going to be more fun because we can flip through things quicker and see more. 55%. That is like nothing, man. And this is an asymmetric opportunity too. It's a good options play. It's one I like. And again, they've been beating earnings. They did have a snafu a while ago, a couple months ago. I think they had. Oh, hey, thank you for joining, guys. Looks like you figured it out. That's awesome. They had a snafu where they had some kind of security hacking thing, and literally this company is security. So that sucks. Might take a while to wear that down, but honestly, the way this thing's bouncing, I don't know that it's going to take long. It's a great company outside of, not being as secure as they should be for a security company. All right, 1 second here. Let me just look back up. AMD. Okay. Members get priority first, so I'm going to pull up AMD next here. And if I missed a member, you guys let me know. I think I have this one saved. Let me see. Oh, I should save this real quick. In case I didn't. I think I do. All right, load. These chip companies are stupid. They're stupid. ARM. I think AMD and Intel have like taken a breather, but ARM, SMIC or SMCI, whatever it is, Supermicro, and then NVIDIA, they're just stupid. Just, I mean, in the most glorious way if you own them, but just stupid. Let me see. I should do a trend-based fib extension on this. Huh, I do like the fact that it established support on previous resistance. God, this thing's gonna run higher. This is so stupid. Where should I draw this? Probably I don't even know. No, I'm gonna draw it over here. 2020. Well, I'm probably just gonna go for a long. This is such a long chart time frame. I should probably draw it as such. Let me see here. Yeah, I'm just gonna go to the low. Because these guys are going through a super cycle. I feel like with chips, this is the bubble. Oh, I got the wrong one. I feel like this is the bubble. There's a bubble every cycle, right? And AI was what people thought the bubble was going to be. But it's not. It's going to be chips. Why is it going to be chips? Because if you look back at gold mining, it was the picks and shovel people that made all the money. It wasn't the people looking for the gold. Yeah, so this is cool. So again, we're above that .618, which is cool. I like that. We tested up to the .786, but then got rejected right away. This kind of reminds me of Bitcoin. Since we've wicked up a few times here, I wouldn't be surprised to see us test back up to 180. And if we do that, we're probably making a run for the next level, which is stupid. But 218 or something. These things will run until they don't. And let's look, since these are, oh God, I need to add indicators. Oh, I'm not doing that right now. Too much work. I'll add RSI and MACD to this so we can look at that in the future. All right, CRV, Rocket Lab. Okay, CRV real quick, and then we'll do Rocket Lab. Right, let me save this because I want to make sure it takes that. All right, okay. I don't know what this other one is, so I'm going to make a copy because I'm pretty sure I don't have it. CRV. All right, and as this works with new ones that I don't know, I'll pull them up, and then if I think they suck or if I think they look great, we're going to take a further look. Is this a shitcoin? Oh, it's Curve. Yeah, it probably is. If that's a stock, let me know. Oh my God, jeez, it's dead. If this is Curve, don't buy it. Nobody cares anymore. This is so bad. It doesn't even have a heartbeat. So this is what happens. And this one has some crazy weird like inflationary thing. I would not own this. It should at least have, and don't get me wrong, maybe it could go up to, something weird could happen and it could go up to 7 or something, but there's just, you want a heartbeat. You want a heartbeat. And there's no heartbeat here. She died. Rocket Lab. Okay, I'm going to say this one real quick. I don't know if I have them either, so give me 1 second. You know what? I should do this off of a chart that has all my shit. 1 second. I don't want to have to redo these indicators. Rocket Lab. What is Rocket Lab? RKLB. Okay. If you give me a symbol, I can look it up. You got to give me a symbol because I don't know all of them. Did I pull this up? Oh no. What am I tripping? RKLB. Okay, here we go. Kinda dead. Weird. But again, above volumes. Can't hate that. Let's look at the numbers because I need to know more about this company. This is literally a rocket company, right? Yeah, okay. I remember these guys. They've actually been doing all right. I know Elon encourages them a lot. And that's a good sign. If Elon likes them, I don't hate them. But I do hate burning money. I hate it. I hate it. And all right, so let's look at this. Let me zoom out because I need to see this better. So this is kind of weird because they're still getting revenue and it's increasing, and I don't hate that. Their operating expenses aren't getting a lot higher, but what I do hate is the $40 million they're burning every quarter, and the fact that that does not appear to be getting a lot better. And then I also hate when I look here at their bonds and their cash, and I only see 287 million, and then I see 60 million in debt, and then I know that in 4 quarters they're going to be close to broke. So in a year they're broke. I don't love that. It's hard to start a rocket company. It's hard to get to space. So I don't know. If you're trying to support them, then I would throw some money at them. If that's all you care to do. Otherwise, it's scary. It's scary because companies like this can die really easy. Again, there's just no. You look at their operating expenses here, and there's just no clear indication that they aren't going to die, right? Because it's not getting any better. We're not seeing that. We're not seeing that beautiful Tesla chart. Again, Tesla's getting so much shit right now, but it's going to have its day again. And again, what you want to look for in operating expenses, something like this, man. Look at Tesla. It doesn't cost them any more to do what they've been doing, but their revenue just keeps climbing. Sure, they're overvalued right now by some means. Oh, hey, thanks for joining, John. Appreciate it. But Tesla's going to crush it in the future, man. So yeah, I'm not a fan of Rocket Lab just because, again, I don't like charity work. And a rocket company is not an easy thing to do, man. So did I miss the SoFi review? No, you have not. Let's pull up SoFi. I can do that. I will save this one real quick, though. I'm going to try and just because I don't like Rocket Lab, again, I could be wrong. There could be stuff. I don't know Rocket Lab fundamentally. I just know the conversations that Elon's had and a couple of quick news articles. If you know stuff that is like, oh, this company's going to be great, then shoot it out and let me know. But right now, it kind of seems like a flat line, and they're running out of money. They got a year. All right, so what we're going to look at, SoFi. Yeah, SoFi. Let's do it. Where my baby at? How'd she do today? Not bad. She was creeping. Don't hate that. 2.46 is a good move. I do think that this pattern here can turn into something positive. Let me get this out of here. I don't want to see this. Yeah, so here's what I see coming, maybe. It's ugly with this wick. It barely even counts because of that wick right there, because it's so ugly. But we could see something like left shoulder, head, right shoulder, right? Even though we had that wick, we're not going to count it. Oh, hey, thanks for joining, Jova, if I'm saying that right. So if this turns into an inverse head and shoulders, I think it's possible, man. Again, if rates are coming down, everybody benefits. Guess who does the most? Banks and fintech. So pray for rates coming down, guys. But the measured move for this, let's see. It would put us up near, what do the volume levels look like up here if I zoom? Oh, it's got to be more than that. Oh my God, it puts us all above peak volume. Oh, yeah, this is going to be crazy. If we get back up here again, you're going to feel really safe because look at all the volume support underneath of this. Look at that. It's a mountain. You got a mountain sitting under you, and the mountain's going to go higher. So, again, I love it. I love SoFi. What else we got? Rocket Lab, SoFi. Hood earnings, what do you think? Hood earnings. Oh, March calls. Like March in a month. I think you need to watch my options video. For sure, if you have not. I hate short-term options because the theta decay is disgusting. You lose all the extrinsic value in the option, and all you have left is intrinsic, and you got to be over your target. So I don't love that at all. I mean, let's put it this way. In March, yeah, we're going to pull up Hood. You got to see this. And then I'll quickly talk to earnings tomorrow. And make sure you guys tune in. I'll have a stream going with the MIT. You can follow me on here, though, if you want to support my channel. And we're going to be doing Hood earnings tomorrow. And then I have that another live one with tomorrow night at 7 with my friend Felix. He's got like 80,000 subscribers, so we're going to hang. He's really cool. Kind of reminds me of Doctor Who. Don't tell him I said that unless he's on here already, in which case I apologize. But he's super cool. He's got an awesome personality. He's like British, but he's living in Hong Kong, very interesting cat, has a dog. So I'm excited about that one. That's a 7. So looking at Hood here, we're testing up against the golden retracement zone. This is off the fib-based trend extension. A very tiny one because we didn't have a lot of price action. But this is cool. But here's what scares me about your option, right? See this downward resistance line? It starts like 1350. So you're like in the shittiest place for the next month. Could this go higher? Yes, you'll lose all the extrinsic value and your call because you've only given yourself a month. And if it doesn't go higher, you'll lose it all. So if we get a bounce tomorrow after earnings or whatever, I would GFO, like, or GTFO? Yeah, get out. Get out. You need to go longer with these guys. Like, you want to do leaps. Leaps give you tons of time and they reduce your theta decay. Watch my Options 101 video. It will save you tons of money. So many people do this stuff wrong. It takes them years. Sometimes they never figure it out. Figure it out. It will save you a bunch. I DM'd you on X today about NVIDIA puts as a hedge. Did you give a chance to look? I did not. Give me 1 second. Hopefully I didn't miss anything. Oh, here, I'll pull Sol real quick, and then, yeah, we'll talk about that, the puts as a hedge thing, just to see where they're at. Sol looks great. I mean, again, no back test whatsoever. Sol doesn't even care about this fib. Doesn't even want to go back to it. It's just like, I'm going back up here again, and then I'm going to the new all-time high. That's what Sol's thinking right now. And let's see how far. So again, if we get a positive day in the markets tomorrow, which I think we will, could be wrong. I have been routinely wrong. Not routinely though. I'll say I'm more right than I'm wrong. But if we get a positive day in markets tomorrow, you could see Sol like really start to take off. Maybe not to the 142% to the next fib, but and Bitcoin would go first, and then we'd have to wait for that pause. But if we get that, if we get a further push from Bitcoin, maybe get to test that 56 range, it's gonna be on like Donkey Kong, guys. Like, it's gonna be on like Donkey Kong, and we're gonna see alts take off to the moon. These guys are gonna want to grow. They're gonna want to get bigger. Today they did all right. Not bad for a daily move, right? Not bad gains, but when these things take off, they'll make this look like nothing. All right, what were we going to next after Sol? Sorry, let me see here. Hood. Oh yeah, let me talk real quick to Hood, and then I'll see. Oh yeah, NVIDIA. Also, real quickly with Hood. Oh, did I already pass it? I already passed it. I don't know where it is. Oh, there we go. I need to really work on how I position these. I apologize. So I think that, again, good things can happen with Hood. Tomorrow for the earnings call, the one thing I'm scared about, I'll just touch this real quick, is that they were massively oversubscribed to people transferring IRAs, and they had a 3-week delay at one point, and they were talking about like having to try and prioritize. So they're paying people a match of 1%, 3% if they were gold member for a limited time. I think they ended that pretty quick because they were getting oversubscribed. But that could cause high costs. So for 5 years, people have to keep their IRAs there. I think long term, it's awesome, and I think if Wall Street looks at this, they're going to be like, holy crap, they're really growing assets under custody. This is going to be a big win for them, getting all these IRAs from all these companies that refuse to do Bitcoin ETFs. So I think it's going to be a huge win long term, but short term, I don't know what can happen. Maybe it sucks. Maybe we get another PayPal moment. I hope not. I want my fintechs to do well. SoFi went straight up and then just took it all away. PayPal went straight up and even less time and then took it all away. I think there was like a good 30 seconds on PayPal. So can we just have Hood? Is that too much to ask? I hope not. We'll see. All right, NVIDIA. Let's do NVIDIA. And then, yeah, I saw somebody talking about Fastly. I'll try and pull that up unless a member comes up and asks for something else. Let me see. I got a bookmark. I got to save these. I got to save them so we have... so I don't have to do stuff again. Gonna save us time in the future, guys. It's all about the future. All right. Let's see here. NVIDIA, the most insane trade on Earth. Well, I don't know. SMCI? Maybe this isn't. Let's pull it up. That's not NVIDIA. NVIDIA. Let's save it. Wow, man. Those gaps have not filled at all. All right, I'm gonna have to do something here. This is insane. Let me see. Where do we... That's 2022. That's 2019. Let's use that as our fib-based trend extension. Start to see what we're looking at. See if we're hitting any key resistance. See, the thing that worries me about this is, like, parabola is parabola. And if we have it for a while, this might not make a hedge. Maybe. This might be a spot where we could get resistance. It might be. So, I don't know what you were in, but this might be a top. I don't know though, man. Maybe it goes to 1200. The problem with this is their growth was so huge that they're kind of fitting into their valuation. Nobody thought this last quarter that they'd be able to beat. And like, look at it. Look at this growth, man. They got 30% upside in August. They got 20% in November. Like, it's just stupid. And what if they do that again? We know they have a year-long wait. We know that it's so bad that, like, some of these big guys, I don't know if it's Microsoft, Meta, who, maybe it's all of them, we're talking about reserving with AMD with their new AI cards, just because they don't know when they're going to get these. So I don't know, man. The chip sector could be hot for a while. If you weren't in the .com bubble or you weren't in the 2000 bubble, I don't think you actually know how crazy things can get. Not yet. All right. Favorite altcoins top 3. I would say, oh, that's hard. It's probably going to be stuff that's higher in cap, like Solana, Ethereum, maybe Cosmos, Atom, the ATM or ATAOM one. It's probably like those 3, just because they're safer. You're getting a part of an ecosystem. Solana could try and flip ETH. ETH has amazing like deflationary aspects. So if I was being safe, I would probably do like ETH, Solana, and Cosmos. That's my 2 cents. What's your approach when to look for the daily, weekly, monthly? Oh, so here's the thing. On time frames, the longest one, the monthly, is going to be the most accurate as far as how things are playing out. And then I dial back to the weekly to see if like there's divergence and convergence. Are we oversold? And same kind of thing. If I'm on the daily and we get to oversold, it's like, oh, okay, but what does it do on the weekly? How oversold can it get there? It's not oversold yet. Oh, maybe it's okay. Or what about the monthly? If you look here at like Nvidia on the monthly, for instance, you could see that yes, we do actually. Wow, this is interesting. Now that we're talking about the short, let me just see something real quick. So this monthly time frame, again, what I was just going to say is this is like the most accurate pattern range, right? So I might have to start sharing these more on my page. I don't have like all these. I'm going to start adding more if you guys request it, especially members. I'll add this onto the pin profile on X. But here's what I like. If I would probably put an alert on this, and if we hit that, that's going to be strong resistance. So maybe we go up a little bit more around 900. This wouldn't be a crazy place to look at a short because you'd be hitting this downward trend line, which is acting as divergence. So the entire time that this has went this way, this thing is pulling down. So if you hit at the tippy top up here, right around, I don't know, maybe it'll be like 900. That might be a solid short position. I haven't looked at hedges for this, but you might want to look at some. And again, go leaps. It gives you more time to be right, so you don't lose all your money. But I would look at them and pull them up with the options calculator. Always go to optionsprofitcalculator.com or some calculator and pump in the price. And then you can look at the calls on here. And then if you're doing that too, you also need to know what the options chain looks like. That's all in my video, my Options 101. Watch that. Can you share what your approach when you look at the daily? I'm just seeing, not complaint, but a critique. I've noticed many of your videos seem to have lower volume. Yeah, it should be better today though. I've cranked it up, so hopefully volume is better. And you were right. I think like 3 or 4 of those slipped by. I wasn't doing a good job monitoring them. It's one of those things. It's really hard being a YouTuber. There's so much technical crap. And then everybody tells me it's better with a Mac. I don't have a Mac, though. I've got a stupid expensive PC with 24 cores and a $2,500 video card and 64 gig of memory, and it still sucks and errors out. So I've had to really figure out how things are working. So If there's stuff like that that's weird, throw it in the comments. I try and look at it, or just hit me up on X and tell me stuff isn't working right. I will check out Nvidia though and see what kind of put options are out there. Maybe I'll post some if there's interest. I might post something about using this as a hedge play, because again, if shit does hit the fan, I don't know if this might be oversubscribed as far as puts. That's the thing I have to check out. I got to see what works. All right, 657,000 buy order on Hood after hours. Woo! I'll take that. Buy all the Hood, please. All right. I am feeling a little tired, guys. I am sick, so yeah, you're probably right about the frothiness. There's a few of them that have went high, and again, the S&P. Oh, I've got so many of these things open. Let me save this real quick, and then I'll pull up the S&P real fast, and that'll probably be the last thing. Then I'm gonna bounce. So S&P, NASDAQ, all that stuff. If we look here, we are high. We are high. Doesn't mean it can't go higher. Under parabola, crazy stuff can happen, but on this weekly time frame, the S&P is at its highest level going back to January of 2020. It's pretty high. But again, it can go higher. What is this? 2018. Look at this, man. We were at an RSI of 90 plus. I tell you what, man, RSIs for anything, even Bitcoin, they don't sit near 90 for long. So if you're seeing that on a weekly time frame, 90 on an RSI, whether it's Bitcoin or whatever it is, GTFO, because it ain't a good sign. But yeah, so we're seeing this kind of potential for downside price action from just being overbought so much. And again, things like here on the weekly, we've got some bearish divergence too that wants to form. So at least on the MACD, so we could see this thing try and roll over here. Maybe not right away, but it could do it in the coming days. We could see the MACD start to try and roll over and drop a little bit. That wouldn't be crazy. But parabola in a market, if we get lower rates, all the economic stuff still looks good. All of it pretty much. The unemployment hasn't started to deteriorate that we can see. So even though we've seen a lot of headlines, we haven't seen it in the data. So, and we're still seeing all earnings are really good so far this quarter. We're seeing beats and pretty good forward guidance across hundreds and hundreds of calls. So I don't know. I'm bullish still. It doesn't hurt to hedge though. I got almost 55,000 in hedges. I got I think 90 to 100,000 in TLT, and then a little bit of cash left over. So I got some hedges. So worst case, there's that. I do think though that I think Bitcoin still wants to tear, and if that's true, I think small caps are coming, and I think the environment's still going to remain risk on. Because if people are making a bunch of money on Bitcoin, you know what they do? They make a bunch of money on miners. Then they're like, hey, you know what? Jesse was talking about PayPal. Maybe I should throw a little bit over there. Take a little bit off the table. It seems overextended. And the same with small caps, same with everything. As people are making a bunch of money, if the fundamentals can hold up and we're still risk on, the market funds will just slosh around to different investments. One week it'll be this one. It'll be the caps, the large caps, all right? Like everybody's talking large caps. Large caps are getting pretty flat. But what is it right now? It's the chips. It's the chips. And like companies like Palantir and some that had really good earnings, they're doing really good. And now people are like, oh, I made money off of Palantir. What should I do now? Oh, you know what? Yeah, SoFi could go up. It looks like there's an asymmetric opportunity there with options. ARKG looks good. Let's look at Hood. PayPal really got beat up. I should maybe get some at least stock there. How much lower can it go? And so people look for opportunity. So when markets are doing great and there's nothing scary around us, we haven't hit a black swan or anything, they can get crazy. And that's what you need to mentally prepare for. A lot of bears that want to be barrier, and they're just not getting their opportunity. It's sucking for them. And markets like to give max pain. So what better max pain than to screw the bears for a second year in a row? Last year, the year before that, we saw capital outflows out of stocks. Decent amount. This year, we're seeing inflows. Bitcoin's seeing massive inflows. So I don't know what to tell you. I think bears need to get their ass handed to them, and they will. Anyway, I'm tired. I'm sick. Stuck it out for as long as I could. I love you guys. Again, like, subscribe, ring the bell if you want to get notification right away. I don't even think I remembered to post this on X, so I'll try and get better about that. And feel free to join if you want. You get priority if you're a starter pack member, $2.99 a month. You get priority as far as your questions. And eventually, I might even turn chat to where it's just members if it gets too congested. It's already kind of hard to read. I don't know how people keep up with it. They must have help. Anyway, I love you guys. You take it easy. Let's do it again tomorrow. Let's do hood earnings tomorrow with the MIT. So after the bell, and then 7 o'clock if you want to hang out and see what my conversation with Felix is like. He's a cool dude. I think you'll